Hey everyone, this is Sohini with Dabble Lab, and in today's tutorial we're going to write code in Node.js to set up Amazon Comprehend Medical so that whenever a user would pass in a prescription in a written format and instead of a string, our Comprehend API will be able to return us with the medications, symptoms, several entities, and the diseases prescribed in their prescription. So we're going to set all of this up in a code that we're going to write in Node.js today, and we'll be referring to this website for the help to the class and methods and APIs, how we're going to do. This is super helpful. I'll give you a link to this library on the description below. This is going to help you, and this is all with reference to the previous video. If you haven't watched it yet, I would highly recommend that go back and watch the video and then come back to this video and let's code together. So let's get started. So the first thing that we're going to do is just create a .replit file so that we can have a run file, node index.js. We're going to hit on stop to see that we're being able to run this. Now let's log console.log Amazon Comprehend Medical. Let's run this. Cool. So at this point of time, your code is set up, like the Node.js is set up. So now we're going to go ahead and start writing code for our agenda today. So the first thing that we're going to do is import the required SDKs. So we need the AWS SDK. So for that, we're going to do var AWS equals require AWS SDK. And the second thing that we're going to need is the .env file. So we're going to add that to our package. But let's just run this so that the package file gets created. Let's go to .env. This is it. So now if you navigate above this page, so I want to npmjs.com and search for .env. And this is the version that we're going to be using for today. 8.2.0. So we need the .env to store all the AWS credentials, which is going to be mainly your AWS region, your access key ID, and your secret key ID. So in here we'll do .env, and we'll state the version of that. Where's that symbol? This and this. I think we're gonna run this, and it's installing .env. So let's just wait for a couple of more seconds, and it has. So we're gonna import .env inside of this. So require .env.config. That's by default, so we'll just keep it as much, and we'll create the .env file inside of this. There you go. So the variables that are going to stay inside of our .env file is going to be AWS region, this, which is going to be US East 1 for me. Then we'll have the what is it for AWS setting credentials, and go to setting credentials Node.js, and then we'll navigate to credentials for environment variable. So this is it, AWS access key ID, and we'll need the AWS secret access key. Session token is not necessary, we don't need it. So inside the access ID key, you're gonna stitch in your access ID key from your account. So I have done that in the previous video. You can go to your Amazon account and go to my security credentials from the drop down on the tab up in here, and from here you'll be able to get your AWS key and secret ID key. So I will put that inside of this, and then I'll start coding. So let me just give me a moment. Alright, so I've added that to my .env. I have my secret access key and the access key ID. So now my code is ready to perform all the operations. So now I will go ahead and I will write the code. So I'll create a variable var comprehend medical equals new AWS dot comprehend. So we'll turn this to caps. Comprehend medical, and inside of this we will make sure that we're passing the right API version. So to check that, we'll move to this page, and you can see the API version is 2018-10-30. So we're going to use this inside our service identifier, and this is how it's going to look like. Once we've done this, then we'll go and create an async function that's going to pass all the parameters to our API. So let's just name it get details, and then we'll pass in text. We'll create curly braces and we'll do the parameters. So this is where we're going to pass the parameters, which is just going to be text for this case. So I'm just keeping it as a variable and passing it so that just in case in the future we want to do something more, we can just manipulate this code to do all this stuff. So this is it, and then we'll create another variable. So var data equals await, and then we'll do comprehend medical dot, and we will move to our library, and now we'll check all the methods that we've got. So we've got describe entities detection VD job and so many. So this one is deprecated, which I mentioned in the previous video, so we'll not be using this. So we're going to be using detect entities v2. So they've used callback. We're not going to use callback. We'll be using promises because callback is pretty outdated. So I will do detect entities v2. I think that was the method. Okay, great. So now what I'm going to do is open up this and just pass in params inside of this, and then I will do dot promise, and I will create this. That's it. Now let's just log the data that's coming in. Console.log data. So data is going to contain all the JSON files that we're bringing in, and we'll be able to see that. Now let's do var. I'll create another variable to store particularly the things that I want to print today and display to you. So this is just an array that's going to store all the information. So it's just going to be like this. So I will create a loop now. So for int entity of data so we have entities in it, and this is going to open up if the category is equals medical condition, which is one of the attributes, condition, then we'll push all the texts that's inside of the medical condition JSON to, we'll push it diseases dot push entity of text. That's it. Okay, so we've done this part. Now we're going to return all of these. So we'll just do return and identify diseases are and we'll put a colon in here and just join this like this. We'll just concatenate the diseases dot join and put codes and just do a comma and space so that it looks a bit good. So this will be able to give us all the information, and that is how you return it. And then once we have done this, we're going to create another async function that's going to contain that's going to send in the text to our comprehend API. So we'll just do text in here. Let's do var diseases await get details. This logit getting details \n, then we'll do console.log diseases. And that's not it. We now have to create the main, and inside of this we'll pass all the text. Okay, so now I'm gonna go ahead and paste the text in this, which I've already copied from beforehand for you. Now I'm gonna hit on run and check what this returns. There you go. So we've got all the identified diseases, which are sleeping trouble, rash, itchy, boggy, inferior tuberculosis, and I don't know, so many of them which I unfortunately can't pronounce, but yeah, like, so this just gave up all the data that we just wanted to extract, and I think that was what I wanted to demo around for today. In our next tutorial, we are going to integrate this in an Alexa skill, so I want you to stay tuned with me, and if you really like this tutorial, to give a thumbs up on this video and share this and subscribe to our channel, and I'll see you soon in the next tutorial. Thanks for watching.